Let me down to see you. You make my heart say, oh, yeah.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. I will be reviewing Tyler Perry's House of Payne, episode 11, Hard Lessons. Let's get right into it. The episode starts off with Uncle Curtis sitting in the kitchen, and he's just kind of sitting there. Aunt Ella comes in the kitchen, and she basically asks him what's going on, and he basically is talking about how he's hungry, how he wants her to cook him breakfast, and she pretty much is tired of it. And she basically is saying, you know what, you do it yourself. She feels taken for granted. So she leaves and goes over to Calvin's condo, and she's talking to Calvin about the whole situation with her and Uncle Curtis, telling him that she feels like she's being taken for granted. And, Calvin basically is like, he's always been that way. Like, why do you think he's any different? And she basically tells him, yeah, I know, but, I want him to do something different. So at the same time, she starts talking to him about Miranda. And Calvin is like, stop trying to push Miranda basically on me. Like every time she's always at the house, and she basically lets him know that she still loves Miranda and she's not just going to stop allowing her to come around because he doesn't want her around. And she also mentions about how they deal. Apparently, they deal with Christian, like they drop him off to different people so they don't have to see each other. And she was telling him that, why are you guys doing that? You're adults. You should be able to pretty much, drop him off or pick him up and see each other. You guys should be able to do that. And she basically was telling him, if you're really over her, you shouldn't have a problem, seeing her. And he's like, Mom, whatever. She's like, well, then call. So he called and told her to drop Christian at the house. Now, I want to go back to Uncle Curtis and Aunt Ella. There was another episode when the show was on before about the same thing, about Uncle Curtis taking Aunt Ella for granted. And if I recall, she did the same thing and came over to Calvin and Miranda's at the time, and she was telling them how she felt taken for granted by him. Again, I don't know if Tyler forgot about that episode, but pretty much the same thing happened in that episode that happened in this episode. Uncle Curtis came over and he's pretty much begging Aunt Ella to take him back and to come back home. So, again, I mean, I don't really know if he forgot, but he must have, because it was pretty much the same exact thing. So with Miranda, so she comes over after he called her. She comes over and, Aunt Ella takes the baby and they go in the back. And then she pretty much lets Calvin know that she still loves him and that she's sorry that she asked for the divorce. And she asked Calvin if he really liked Laura, and he said he did. And he's like, well, it's over. Now, from what I see, let me just say this. I have to give Miranda credit because she was able to be honest with her feelings. She was able to be poised about it. She didn't she didn't cry. She's in a place now where she's starting to accept that Calvin doesn't want to be with her. At least that's the way he plays it. Like he really doesn't want to be with her, that it's completely over. And so she was able to stand there and she was able to hear him tell her that, not only was it over, but that he really likes his girlfriend, Laura. So she heard that and then she was like, well, I guess we need to go back to, the way we were doing it, dropping off to other people. And he said, yeah, which tells me because, it's obvious that he still loves Miranda because he didn't want the divorce. And whenever somebody doesn't want the divorce, of course their feelings don't just go away. So that Calvin is really hurt. Like he's hurt, and he was always hurting. You just move on. It's nothing he could do. She wanted the divorce, so he moved on. And not only that, but from the way they were talking, they've been in and out of court for a while. And see, this is where we forget, I know people are like, we're hard on Miranda, but Miranda was really tough on Calvin during this whole divorce process. She's been asking for more money. She's just not letting up. It's like she was being really, really difficult. And she's the one that wanted the divorce. So it's like, how are you going to now flip this whole thing? And now all of a sudden you throw out there that you love Calvin. You're telling this man that you crushed his heart when you left him and asked for the divorce. Now you're coming back saying you love him and you wish you wouldn't have, and you're sorry, and that you realize that you have what you really wanted all along. It's like, it's almost like she's playing with his heart, because we didn't see the back and forth in the court, but all of that was happening was stressful for Calvin. This man was trying to be fair. This man was trying to do whatever he could do so that they could definitely spend quality time equally with their son. And she just kept pushing and pushing. And we found out in earlier episodes that, she felt like she just wanted what was fair. But the reality of it was, it sounds like she just really wanted something, some kind of way to still be in Calvin's life outside of Christian, which lets you know that she was trying to kind of hold on to him. And I think what's interesting is that sometimes people do that. Like they find any reason to hold on to somebody because they don't necessarily want to be with them, but they don't want anyone else to be with them. And I kind of feel like Miranda was doing that. That's why I threw her for a loop, that Calvin was meeting other people, that he was dating, that he actually likes Laura. And, so this is telling of, how, her perception of their relationship was. So I just found that interesting. I still personally do not want them to get back together. I do think Calvin still loves her. He probably always will. Calvin always loved Miranda. That was never the issue. And I think that's why I don't really think it's strange or that it's surprising to me that he does still love her, or that people would think that he's still in love with her, that he's hiding his feelings. Of course, he was hurt. That man was devastated when she left him, and he was devastated during the divorce proceedings, and it's still going on. I mean, now it let up because she revealed how she really feels, but during that whole process, I mean, she was being tough on him. And I'm not trying to say that she didn't deserve it, but Calvin doesn't make as much money as Miranda. I mean, Miranda makes a lot more. And I think he was doing his due diligence with paying child support and also spending time with Christian. So it's just interesting how she's flipping this whole thing. So I don't know what you guys think about that whole situation. Do you think Miranda and Calvin should get back together? I don't know. As far as Uncle Curtis and Aunt Ella, the thing that I noticed with Aunt Ella is Aunt Ella has been living with this man for years. Okay? She has known Uncle Curtis for years. I mean, they've been married forever. And this is not new. So for me, I feel like she's now getting to the point where she's speaking out about how she feels about being taken for granted. But during the process, she was continually doing it. And you know what? That's kind of like called codependency, because she does things for people, but then she gets upset when nobody appreciates what she does. Like, if you notice, she came right over to Calvin's house and she's cleaning up. He never asked her to do that. He didn't ask her to clean up for him, but she did it. Now, if she did it again and he didn't say anything, she would complain that nobody appreciates her. That is codependency. And I think she needs to understand that she struggles with that, because all this time she's been doing these things for Uncle Curtis. And she did mention to Jasmine in another episode that she does things for her husband because she loves him. But at the same time, she feels taken for granted. You know, she feels like he doesn't notice her or that he doesn't appreciate what she does, but she allows it. You know, she has allowed it for years. And so, to be honest, she really can't blame anybody but herself. So, you know, let me know what you think. I mean, the episode was good. It is moving along a little bit more. I personally really I want to see what's going to happen with Calvin and Laura. I'm not so, like I said, excited about Miranda and Calvin getting back together, but I would be okay either way. Let me just say, I really liked Calvin and Miranda. I thought they were so cute together when they really had a good relationship. And when it started going bad and all she did was nag and complain, that's when I started getting annoyed with her. But before then, I just thought they were so cute. So for me, I just want both of them to be happy. Whatever that looks like for them, you know, that's fine. I just wanted to make the show more interesting and not always have it where, you know, everybody gets back together. You know, that's just too typical, and you know, you can pretty much tell that's what they're doing. So let me know what you think. I mean, did you enjoy the episode? Do you want Calvin and Miranda back together? And do you think Aunt Ella was justified in how she felt? Or do you think that Curtis, you know, was justified in how he felt? So let me know. And thank you again for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.